Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1228. Let me know. I had a weird. Let me know if I'm muted. I don't think I am. I think I'm good. Okay, I'm good. Good morning. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. First day of the National. If you're going to be in Cleveland today, enjoy. I will be living vicariously through you. Peter can hear me. Good. Little late today. Little had to mix up the routine. My wife's out of town. She'll be back today. Just gone for the night. So I had to do Biscuit's routine. So we went out. We went potty. We took our meds. And it's also trash and recycling day. So this was a big one. Couldn't miss that. I took out the trash and recycling. And here we are. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. In case you missed it, last night we went live. How do I process bulk buys? I picked up the 30,000 plus cards from the Singles Club on their way through to the National. So I hadn't gone through any of the cards, with the exception of the first box that I did go through. Hadn't gone through any of the rest. So I thought it was a good time. Thank you to Kendall, who said, hey, how do you process a bulk lot like that? So we went through again, and I mentioned it on the video last night. It's not the most efficient method, but it's my method and it works for me. I think we all have those. It's not the best way to do it, but it's the way I do it. Because I probably will go through. I think Cooter asked, how many times do you go through and sort? And I would say probably twice. Ideally, going through it one time is the best to put it in your different piles. But sometimes when you're going through, like I realized, hey, there's like 100 Tyler Harrow rookie cards in here. Normally I wouldn't set aside Tyler Harrow rookies, but all of a sudden it's like, oh, here's another one. Here's another one. And you run into a whole pile. It's like, I'm going to go back and I'm going to pull all the Tyler Harrows and we'll just lot it up. We'll do a 50 card rookie lot or a 100 card rookie lot and go about it that way. So sometimes it's just things come along as you're sorting through and you realize I'm going to do this, which, going into a blind buy, you don't really know you're going to come across hundreds of certain card or a certain player. So ideally, yes, you only go through it once, but sometimes you have to go through it a second time and maybe even a third time down the road. So take a look at the video. That's how I process it. I go through and I set my different piles. A lot of the stuff will go into quarter boxes. My next show will be Sunday, August 11th, Janesville, Wisconsin. Next Madison card show, Saturday, August 24th, Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive. Still debating on doing the fourth room again, the Pokemon only room. It seems like there will be demand. I've kind of taken a couple days off just to decompress from this past weekend show. So we'll see if we're going to run it back and do another 200 table show in August. What else is going on? So in case you didn't watch the video, I grilled last night. My time management sucks. It's like I had the entire day. I'm shipping, I'm listing, and did run to the grocery store. And it's like, well, I've got these cucumbers that I need to get pickled. Otherwise, they're going to go bad. So I pickled. I only had I think 6 cucumbers for my first batch. And they were little tiny nubs. So I think I put 2 per jar. One of them was a little longer. I can't find any of my quart jars. I've got pint jars coming out of my ass, but my quart jars, and I feel like I buy a case of quart jars every year. It's probably when I give pickles away, I never get the jars back. So if I have a big batch, I'm going to have to go out and buy more quart jars. Last night's recipe was just a standard dill pickle recipe. I wanted to keep it simple. I didn't want to get creative last night, especially with this first batch. Just, okay, we'll try the old standard dill pickle recipe. and see how these turn out. I did a test batch with pickles that I bought at the store, cucumbers I bought at the store about a month ago, and those were bread and butter pickles. Little too much vinegar. It wasn't diluted enough. Pretty strong. I'll go back. I've still got 2 jars left. I'll go into a second jar and see how those, if sitting on them for an extra couple of weeks did the trick, and probably not. So that's what I did last night. Did some pickles. Biscuit hasn't been eating. That's just her thing. She's actually been, she's been really good with mom away. She's been taking her meds with no issues at all. She just gobbles it up. We had to put them in turkey. I did talk to my mom. I talked to my mom for the first time. I hate talking on the phone. Am I saying I'm pronouncing Tyler Harrow wrong? Hero. You're the only person who pronounces it. I have a shitty way of pronouncing things. I'm sorry. So I talked to my mom last night. First time I've talked to my mom in a month, probably. We text, but I was in Switzerland, and then my aunt. So when her and her friend Sue left my house from dog sitting and house sitting, they picked up my aunt, who lives in the state of Oregon, and her son, my cousin, lives in Whitewater, which is, I don't know, an hour away from Madison, maybe 45 minutes. So she picked up my aunt in Whitewater, and then my aunt stayed with my mom for like 2.5 weeks. My aunt is something. She's a character. She talks a lot. And she can also be pretty preachy, I guess. And she loves to talk religion. She loves to talk politics. So I asked I'm like, so how was 2.5 weeks with Aunt Cindy? And so here's the thing. My aunt and my mom didn't talk for like a decade. We are not like everybody's family dynamic is different, and it's not that we're dysfunctional. It's just we're just not like a close. My aunt is like, my mom is just kind of like, I want to do my own thing, and that's how I am. Like, I just leave me alone. I want to do my own thing. My aunt's very family focused, even though she lives in Oregon. But when she comes back, she's like, let's go see this cousin and this cousin and this cousin and that cousin. And my mom said, hey, we're having a big family get together. And this was last Wednesday in the Quad Cities. And I'm like, I have way too much stuff to do. I'm not gonna go down to the Quad Cities for this. So, and they didn't talk, and they weren't like mad at each other. They just didn't talk. My mom's also not a phone person either. But now, like, as my mom's getting older, and my aunt will just, and I think it was more of my mom, just like, just leave me alone type of deal. I think as my mom gets older, she realizes, okay, this could be the last time I see my sister. And like, she's getting closer, and she's like, I miss her. And, but like, and her feelings are probably like mine. Having somebody spend 2.5 weeks at your house is a lot. Like, I mean, even as close as you are, like, that's just a lot. That's a lot. So talked to my mom and did some pickles and did some burgers on the grill. Biscuit, just like herself, not eating, which is totally normal for her. So it's like, okay, she hasn't been eating much lately. We need to get her to eat. So my wife's like, can you do burgers? And man, she was gobbling up the biscuit burger. So she ate her whole bowl, licked it clean. So took her pills late last. I had to set an alarm for her late night pills. And then we got up this morning. She took her morning pills, went potty, had her bone, and now she's chilling. So Biscuit's doing pretty well for the circumstances. Still, don't know. I mean, she could go into another heart failure at any time. It just kind of comes on. So we just take it day by day and enjoy these last days with our puppy. What else is that's about all. Shipped and listed yesterday. Yeah, grilled, did some pickles. Make sure you're wearing comfortable shoes if you're going to the National this week. I don't really have FOMO. Like, I see some tweets like, hey, I'm getting together with these guys and and I get a little, but I'm like, I am so not burned out, but just tired. I guess burned out and tired is essentially the same, but I just have no, like, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Because I'm still trying to play catch up, and I'm actually really fighting to get my sales numbers on eBay back to like an average month, because I was gone for 2 weeks, and it's actually because of the last few days. My sales numbers have rebounded really nicely, and I'm already, it's what, July 24th. I think I'm already well past my March, where I was only gone for a week in March. And now there's a lot of different reasons for that. I've been listing thousands of 70 singles, which have been far more liquid than I would have expected. So those are moving nicely. And just other things that I've picked up along here in the last 6 weeks, more liquid stuff being listed. And that's the thing. Like, if your eBay sales are down, let's drop that link, 99centcards.com. Buy 7 or more at regular price, you'll save 25% off at checkout. The thing with baseball card sale, in sales, anything, whatever you're selling, there's always a market for the most part. And it's, if your sales are down, and I understand that from a macro viewpoint, sales could be down, but there's still people buying. So the trick is identifying what is selling and getting that inventory that you can flip on eBay. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we could list a whole bunch of 91 Fleer and it would sell. That's not the case anymore. So you've got to pivot and realize, okay, my old way of doing things isn't going to work. And also, like, you come across 13,000 vintage 70 singles and you can get a really sweetheart deal on them. And maybe vintage wasn't my thing. And I've learned a lot of lessons along the way. And those will benefit me. And I'm like we talked about yesterday, still way, way, way ahead. And 2-3 of the best cards, I'm still waiting to get back from PSA, the Peyton rookie, the Dr. J rookie, a couple others, depending on grade, could be up there in high value cards as well. So I've got a pile. I've still got, a few of I was able to salvage a few of the 72 high numbers before they went to eBay for $2. There's some Keith Wilkes rookies that I found yesterday. I didn't realize. Guess what? A couple people mentioned here over the last few days, just get a Beckett. Well, I've got Beckett's. About a month too late to get out an old football Beckett and an old basketball Beckett. And even though this basketball Beckett's from 2021, football's from 2023, I'm looking up vintage. And even though the prices, it's Beckett pricing, but you can identify, okay, this card's listed in Beckett for $50. These cards are listed for $5. You realize there's an outlier. It doesn't have to be, well, in reality, it's a $20 card. Well, in reality, that $5 card's a $2 card. So you just scale it back. When you see those outliers, Keith Wilkes rookie card in Beckett, I think it's listed for $50. I think on eBay they go for $20 to $25. So I know not to list it for $2. So list it for $25. So thank you to many people who suggested get an old Beckett. So I did yesterday, and I was able to identify even some. I listed some 77 football, 77 tops football, and there were some rookies in 77 football that I didn't realize were is valuable. I thought, well, even though it's a rookie, it's a $2 or $3 card. Mike Haynes, Dave Casper, I didn't realize those were $10 to $15 cards. So learning. So check out my eBay store. I added, let's see, how many cards did I add to eBay yesterday? And I did it in like no time. Let's see, July. All these are July 23rd. Let's just do some calculations. Let's see. July 23rd. So this batch was 83 cards. 83. For any score listeners out there, I don't know. Do they still do that? I don't think they do that bit anymore. It's been a long time. 117, 115 in that batch, 83. Oh, another 83, another 83 batch, 103, 127, and 66. I also listed Hostess. I listed nearly 1,000 cards and did so in probably 2 hours time. 975 cards added, plus I did some couch listing last night. So damn near 1,000 cards listed to my eBay store yesterday. A lot of 70 singles. I did list Hostess, 75, 76 Hostess, 77 tops football. I think some 76 tops football, some 75 tops football. I think I did some basketball. I wanted to get football and basketball because those are not as common. They were printed far less than baseball in the 70s. So I wanted to get the football and basketball listed. Now I'll go into, I did some of the early 70s baseball. Now I'll go into, I think I've got a whole bunch of 70. I think I still have like a 4-row box of 74 baseball. In fact, I may do like a partial set, like a set builder lot on 74 just because I have so many. 75s, I'll list those as singles. And then 76 through 78, still deciding. I move those pretty well. But again, some of those are slower sales. So I don't know. I'm getting really close to that 60,000 mark. I think I'm at 57,000 listings. What's my active listings? I think with 1,000 added yesterday, I think I'm right at 57,000. Internet's going slow. All right. So where are we at? Let's go into the chat. There we go. 56,788. I am watching my so if you go to your seller hub on eBay and you go down to the bottom, it'll show how many listings like you have remaining for the month. However, take into consideration your inventory that relists, is going to be relisting pretty much every day, probably depending on your volume and when you listed it. Mine will be reloading every day. Yawn came out of nowhere. So like today I have, let's see, listings ending within, where's it at? Ending today. I have 2,000 listings ending today, and then they'll reboot, they'll relist automatically. So let's see. I have 6,300 remaining fixed price and almost the 10,000 premium store. But so that's what, 6,000. So about 16,000. But 2,000 are going to be relisted today. And if another 2,000 for the rest of the month, I'm going to be right at that, close to that 60,000 mark. So here over the next few weeks, I do have to monitor my listings and make sure I don't, I've got to make that decision. And do I go to the anchor store, which I think that probably will be the next step. Based on the inventory and how fluid a lot of my sales have been, I think I just will up it to the anchor store and get those 100,000 listings. A few more benefits come with it. I am shipping I've almost run out of bubble mailers. I just It's been less than a month. It's been 3 weeks since I got my case of or my 200 bubble mailers, and I'm almost I think I'm down to like 10 bubble mailers. So I've gone through 190 bubble mailers in 3 weeks. So I'm going to have to reorder for my quarter. And so with an anchor store, I think you get an additional coupon. It's $50 per quarter with the premium store. I think it might be $100 with the anchor store. I'll have to look into that, but I'll need to be buying more bubble mailers. George is in the house. What's going on? He says, good morning. Never pay sticker. That's right. Never pay sticker. Lewis, good morning. Cooter, good morning. Don't you mean it's Nationals Day? Yes, if you're going to the Nationals today, enjoy and wear comfortable shoes. Get those New Balance out. Best thumbnail ever. I do not own New Balance. When I so when I do wear comfortable shoes, it's obvious. You shouldn't have to be told, like, what's your tip for the National? It shouldn't be a tip. It should be like, breathe. You need oxygen to live. You need water to live. You need comfortable shoes if you're going to be walking around a concrete convention center for 5 days or even a day. If you're going to Cubs convention, wear comfortable shoes. If you're going to spring training, wear comfortable shoes. Just wear comfortable shoes. Shouldn't be a tip. Wear comfortable shoes. I think it was for a Cubs convention because at least here's the difference. And I don't know. I was laughed at, and it's kind of a running joke from our vacation. The story I told, and I think it was leading into a Cubs convention several years ago. And the difference between Cubs convention and the National is at the Cubs convention, you're doing a lot of standing, you're on your feet. Now, the National, you're on your feet, but you're walking around. And so there's a difference, in my opinion, between standing and walking. So I Googled ahead of the Cubs convention because I didn't want a walking shoe or a running shoe. I wanted a good standing shoe. And I'm telling this story. I don't know. I was at a shoe. I don't know if it was Dick's Sporting Goods or one of the shoe stores. It was somewhere. And I was looking at like running shoes and walking shoes, and the shoe salesman, the Al Bundy, came over and, can I help you? And I'm like, I'm looking for a good standing shoe. And they go, a what? And I'm like, well, I'm going to be doing a lot of standing. And so I need a good, comfortable shoe that, I'm not going to be moving around. I'm not going to be walking. I'm going to be doing a lot of standing. Do you have any shoes that would fit? And they're like, I think just a regular walking shoe will do the trick. There needs to be, I need to put this, because you just can't Google standing shoe and like, what the hell's a standing shoe? Well, I'm going to be standing around a lot. I'm not going to be walking. I don't need a walking shoe. I need a standing shoe. I need good cushion for my weight to just stand all day long. I need a good standing shoe. So that's the difference. But I roll with Hokas are really nice. Bought a pair of Hokas. I need to buy another pair. I've got a pair of Asics, which the Asics I don't like because they're really narrow. They're a much narrower shoe than some of the other ones. What else do I have for walking shoes? What I have before Hoka? I don't know. Like Adidas. I think like Cloud Foam Adidas. I can't remember. Mr. Archer's here. Good morning. Steve's in the house. What's going on? Peter, he can hear me. Party at Bo's. Mikey, good morning. I have a bunch of shipping to do today. I'm kind of behind. Mikey's going to do some shipping. Good morning, Big Harv. What's happening? Kyle's in the house. Good morning. Philly Joe, good morning. Brian is here. Good morning. I think New Balance or Skechers should sponsor the National. Absolutely. Skechers. I did have a pair of Skechers. That was the other one I was thinking of. Orlando, what's going on? Good morning. I think Orlando is going to be in Cleveland. Brian says, can you stop saying Tyler Harrow? It's Hero. You're the only person who pronounces it like that, even if you're right. Barry, what's going on? Which is your favorite bobblehead or item on the rack behind you? Oh, that's a tough one. There's so many to choose from. I'm partial to. So there's a few, and the items that I'm partial to are because of the experience. So I'm gonna say on the top far right, that one right there, Jorge Soler. That was like my wife and I had been dating less than a year, and we went to Wrigley, and it was like the first time I met like a whole bunch of her friends. And so we sat in the bleachers. We had a big group in the bleachers. It was like 100 degrees. It was Jorge Soler bobblehead day. So we were in the bleachers and we were waiting at the gate for the bobblehead. And the Cubs were no hit that day by Cole Hamels. First time the Cubs had been no hit in 50 years. So it was very historic and very memorable. I think that day was actually brought up a couple times at our wedding. So that's probably my favorite just because of the memories behind it. I also like the Jody Davis, which is down right there behind, I think that's Sammy Sosa. That one right there. That's from like 2006, I think. That was a Peoria Chiefs giveaway, and it's a very heavy, like a true bobblehead. Now they just make these cheap plastic ones. Bobbleheads today just aren't the same. So that's a fun one because it's Jody Davis. In fact, I was supposed to go to that game, and something came up where I wasn't able to get to the game. And a friend of mine was at the game, got the bobblehead, and gave it to me for a housewarming when I bought my first house down in Macomb. It was a housewarming gift. So that's got some good memories attached. And then there's a Rick Russell I don't think you can see. Maybe if I take the comment off. Yeah, the Rick Russell, which is just cool because it's Rick Russell. It's kitchen cooked, sponsored, which is like the greatest potato chip of all time. I think the only non-Cubs actually, there's a couple non-Cubs bobbleheads, but all but one are Cubs related. There's a Giannis bobblehead right there. He sticks out like a sore thumb in the green next to all the Cubby blue. I got that when on our honeymoon when we went to Italy. I got that in the Amalfi Coast, which is pretty close to Greece, where Giannis is from. So everybody loves Giannis out there. So I got that for like $10. It's a cheap bobblehead, but so I think my favorites are the memories that are attached. So those would make the short list. Kyle says the National is way too people-y for me. There you go. A lot of people at the National. It's very crowded. If you don't like crowds, not a good place to go. Philly says nobody goes to the National. It's too busy. There's a Yogi Berra-ism right there. Brian says Bo has the healthier lifestyle going. Sheena, good morning. Making the 8+ hour hike today to Cleveland. Have fun. We're living vicariously through you. Have a safe trip. Enjoy Cleveland and the National. Orlando says, I'm heading out soon. Should be there tonight. Stuke's in the house. I saw Stuke last night. Was on Chicago White Sox fan collectors channel. Stuke and Mike Petty were on there. Enjoyed that. 99-cent cards, CA, Crocs all day long. I cannot wear Crocs. I look at Crocs and they look ridiculous. Not that anything I wear is not ridiculous, but I just can't do it. I can't wear Crocs. I also don't wear flip-flops. I don't wear sandals. Feet are disgusting. So Crocs go into that pile of shoes I'm not going to wear. Good morning, Joe Trotto. What's happening? Stuke says, shoe inserts. Yes. Amen, man. Amen. Shoe inserts, Dr. Scholl's. In fact, every national I've only been to 3. All 3 were in Chicago. All 3 I stayed at the same hotel out in Wheeling. It's about a 20-minute drive to the convention center in Rosemont. And there's a Walgreens about halfway. That's where I stock up. I get my water. I'll get some like either trail mix or beef jerky, some little protein. Because usually I don't eat and I'm not gonna. The reason I don't eat, there's 2 reasons I don't eat at the National. I don't buy food there. I'll eat, but I'll bring my own food in. Is because A, the lines are super long, and then B, the prices are super high. So I'll stop at Walgreens and pick up, some beef jerky, some trail mix, some bottles of water. I try to bring like a case. I'll get a case of water from Costco and bring that in so I don't have to, get it a little cheaper. But if I don't do that, I will stop at Walgreens on the way. And usually, I think 2 out of the 3 years I've done this, I have bought Dr. Scholl's inserts. And now there's a reason I keep a pair of scissors in my glove compartment. Because I get out to my car and I'm getting ready to put my Dr. Scholl's shoe inserts in my shoes and realize, shit, I need scissors, and I don't carry pocket knives or anything like that. So then I had to go back into Walgreens and buy scissors. So now there's always a pair of scissors in my glove compartment just in case I need to stop and put some Dr. Scholl's shoe inserts into my shoes. And I think actually when I talked about the Asics that I have where they don't fit very comfortably, they have a pair of Dr. Scholl's inserts in there. And I think just that kind of there, I should have got a size higher, a bigger size. I think they fit like perfectly, but then the shoe inserts just they're a little narrower than normal shoes, and I think those shoe inserts made it even more tight for my feet. Flawed Thinkers in the house. What's going on? Good morning. And we're at the end of the chat. I don't really have anything else to talk about. So unless anybody else has some questions, I'm going to run. It's already after 8 o'clock. I want to get my day started, do some shipping. I think I'm going to focus on shipping today. I did kind of have a focus on listing yesterday in the morning. And I did get about 1,000 cards listed to my eBay store. Had a great sales day. I sold the refractor box, which Cooter actually gave me a good idea in now that I have the volume of refractors. I think I have at least 2 full 4-row boxes of refractors. And I'll probably fill another one with the cards that I got here from the singles club. I brought 2 boxes down, so I might finish going through that before I hit my shipping this morning. So Cooter suggested a great suggestion too. Cooter always says, "Tell me to shut up if you're tired." But I'm not, because every idea he's given me has been a really good idea. It's like, yes, I'm going to do that. So he suggested doing team lots for refractors instead of a huge 1,000 card everything lot. So I think I might try that. I think I might. In honor of Cooter, we'll do a Giants lot, probably Yankees. There's going to be some teams where probably, the Tampa Bay Rays, probably not going to do. Diamondbacks, probably not. Some of the teams that don't sell. Being a team, and I kind of have an idea of what teams will move more than others, because for 5 years I was doing team trades, and there's not very many Tampa Bay Rays collectors out there. There's not too many Arizona Diamondbacks collectors out there. So there's a lot of teams out there that it was difficult to move in team trades. Hard to find those collectors. So Yankees, Red Sox, Giants, Dodgers, Cardinals, Astros, those were all teams easy to find partners in team trades, which I assume rolls into sales. Flawed Thinker really enjoyed the sorting video from last night. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. The funny thing is, I hate doing those videos. I don't like watching videos like that. And I think I even less like doing the videos. I get so, and you could probably tell like when I hit the wall, like I'm done. Like you could probably at some point in the video, you can tell he's tired, he's done. He doesn't want to do this video anymore because I just like stop talking. Like I'm excited at first, like, oh, here we go. And then we're a few rows in or a few piles in. It's like, okay, it's less fun. And then by the third row, I'm like, oh, this sucks. I'm done. I think it's because it's harder to do on video. I haven't figured out an easy way to make it where it's comfortable for me, where I just can, because I've got to have the cards in the camera view. So I'm like this, and it's just not comfortable. I wish I could find a way that I could do a sorting video where it's natural. You know, like I'm just sorting cards and I don't have to focus on the camera and I can just talk. I'm sure maybe if I get like a GoPro and I put it on my hat or something, I don't know. Not something I'm looking into doing because it's more therapeutic when I just do it on my own and not on video. I don't like doing box breaks on video. Like if I buy a case, I don't want to rip a whole case on camera. I'll do one box, maybe two, depending on, how much fun I'm having. But I just don't really like doing those sorting videos. George says, let's see. George says you petered out when you left the George Brett on display for 5 minutes. For that, you just need an overhead type setup, makes it easy. Yeah, I just need to figure out an overhead setup where I don't have to worry about the camera view. Brian says, have you thought about the bulk collecting advice on what not to do? Oh yeah. What was the what not to do in bulk collecting? Can you shoot me some like what I guess I don't really understand the question. So if you can like either here in the chat or shoot me a DM on like some of the things that you're thinking about. Flawed Thinker says, I just like to see if someone finds something interesting. Cool. Absolutely. Just keep it to yourself for your own enjoyment and maybe just do a recap video. And that could be something as well. But I like doing live. Like I like having the interaction. Like I like knowing people are watching. Although it was with the setup I had last night, it wasn't as easy because I couldn't see. I was just on my camera through StreamYard. I had to like click to the comments and scroll through. So nothing was natural about it. Best ways to save money when bulk collecting, networking and bulk collecting, things like that. Okay, let me write those down. Okay, now that gives me an idea of what to talk about. Best ways to bulk collect. And what was the other? Networking. That's a big one. All right. Thank you. So yeah, so that's what I had for today. How many items do I have to ship? Okay, not too bad. So hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Visit my eBay store. 1,000 new items listed yesterday. 99centcards.com added a whole bunch of mostly vintage 70s, 75, 76, and 77 Topps football. What else was in there? Football. We got some 74 basketball, 75 through 77 Hostess. Those are football. And what else? Listed some stuff from the couch last night. So hit up my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Very gassy today. Must have been the burger from last night. 99centcards.com. Buy 7 or more cards at regular price. You'll save 25% off at checkout. If you didn't watch last night's video, I went through 4 of the 5 rows from a recent singles club purchase. As they drove through, picked up about 30,000 plus cards from them. Went through that last night in a live video. You can check that out. I think that's all. So like, subscribe, shop my eBay store, check out my other videos. Have a wonderful Wednesday. If you're heading to Cleveland, safe travels. Make sure those New Balance are in your suitcase. Wear those comfortable shoes. Have fun. Buy cool cards. And we will live vicariously through you. Enjoy the day. We'll do it again tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. See you then.